Have you ever dreamed of achieving something big, having a better career, becoming a successful person, reaching financial freedom, only to find yourself stuck on the couch or endlessly scrolling your phone instead of taking action? You might think you're just lazy, but research suggests otherwise. Psychologists estimate that roughly 20 to 25% of adults are chronic procrastinators, which often signals deeper issues like anxiety, perfectionism, or self-doubt, not a lack of ambition. In reality, there's a whole psychology behind wanting success but doing nothing. So let's break down the real psychology behind that gap between your goals and your actions. 1. Fear and anxiety. When success feels scary. One big reason you might hesitate is fear, not just of failing, but even of succeeding. It sounds odd, but worrying about failing or even about the responsibilities of success can paralyze you. Yale psychology professor John DeVidio notes that when you worry you can't do a task successfully, you often end up delaying it. In other words, the expectation of failure makes you procrastinate rather than try. Likewise, psychologists point out that some people have a subconscious fear of success. They will self-sabotage or quit right when they're about to win just to avoid what comes next. So even if you want success, anxiety about what success brings, like more pressure, greater attention, or major life changes, can keep you frozen in place. 2. Doubt and low self-belief, not thinking you can do it. Another trap is not believing in yourself enough to even start. If you doubt your abilities, you're much less likely to take action. Experts say that if your sense of self-efficacy is low or if you lack faith in your own skills, you will hesitate to begin any task. And research explains that high self-confidence fuels motivation and effort, creating a virtuous cycle of achievement. By contrast, low self-confidence can lead to a failure spiral where you put things off. So in practice, that might look like endless planning but never acting, because deep down you think I'm not ready or I might mess up. 3. Perfectionism and overthinking, waiting for the perfect moment. Perfectionism can be a sneaky blocker. If you feel a task has to be perfect, you might keep postponing until the impossible perfect moment arrives. Psychologists find that perfectionists often delay work because they fear their results won't meet their own expectations. You might say to yourself, I will start when I have a better idea or when I feel more inspired, but inspiration doesn't usually appear just because you want it to. And this overthinking becomes a trap. By endlessly analyzing or waiting for ideal conditions, you end up doing nothing. In reality, no moment is perfectly suited. Progress means starting even when things aren't perfect. 4. Instant gratification versus long-term goals. The now versus later brain battle. Your brain is wired for immediacy. Yale philosopher Tamar Gendler describes procrastination as a tug of war between what you want most and what you want now. So, even if you really want success down the line, in the here and now, you might choose easy distractions instead. Psychology reports show that when a task is unpleasant to you, your instinct is to do anything else. Checking social media, chatting with friends, or just scrolling, because those give instant relief. In other words, your brain avoids the discomfort of hard work. And breaking this cycle requires consciously tipping the balance. For example, by creating routines, breaking work into tiny steps, and reminding yourself of the long-term rewards. 5. The Imposter Syndrome. Another reason you may stay stuck is something called Imposter Syndrome. It's when you believe that your achievements are just luck, or that you're not really as capable as people think you are. In fact, Stanford educators warn that students with imposter feelings often avoid applying to jobs or projects they qualify for. So, anxiety about social judgment or feeling like a fraud can keep you from even starting the journey to success. So next time you catch yourself daydreaming about success but unable to act, remember it's not laziness. There's often a complex mix of fear, doubt, and short-term comfort bias behind that gap. And understanding these psychological patterns is the first step to beating them. Recognize the fear or perfectionism holding you back. Build your confidence bit by bit and force yourself to take small actions even when it's uncomfortable. Once you turn want into consistent doing, success moves within reach. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe. because on this channel, we explore interesting topics and ideas that teach you, inspire you, and help you grow better every day.